And in cricket news, Commissioner of the new South African T20 League, Graeme Smith, shared details on the upcoming league, which will be known as the SA20. He joins us now to speak more about the league that gets underway in January. That's a look at the league logo that was unveiled. A very good evening and welcome to Newzroom Afrika.
Valen, how are you? Thanks for having me.
So the inaugural season gets underway. January, February, you released the logo. However, no big title sponsors.
No, that's in the plan. We only just announced the sort of setup of the league and the teams a few weeks ago. We've been working towards, I guess today is the launch of our CI and our brand, and moving towards the auction. There's a number of conversations happening, and we hope to close that soon. But yeah, Valen, so hopefully you can promote us.
Okay, so SA20, why not T? Why have we dropped the T? We know all the leagues around the world. The T is so integral.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that's a reason as well. We wanted to be fresh, exciting, own our own logo and our own brand. I mean, SA20, I think it's got a nice ring to it. The double X, I think, is something that we can really bring to life. I've already seen so much happening with it on social media. I know there's much more to come in terms of how we bring that to life in time to come. But hopefully it's a brand that people will now recognize and associate with as we build over the next coming months to the opening game. There's lots of exciting things that we hope to present over those few weeks in South Africa, and in particular, really outstanding cricket. And let's see what teams get put together in the auction on the 19th of September.
SA20 want to own their own space. It is, however, quite a congested space, especially when you look at the cricket calendar and where you guys have chosen to have this competition. It does clash with Australia's T20 league as well as the UAE's league. What are some of the considerations for those players that would naturally play in both of those leagues or in one of the other leagues as well as the South African league?
Oh, Valen, look, the players that we've signed, well, the international players we've signed will be fully available for our league in January and beginning of Feb. The Big Bash is a 3-month tournament. Some players will initially start with that in December, but when our league starts, we'll move across to us. And yeah, I mean, I think the thing that differentiates us from, I guess, the UAE league in particular is the fact that we're investing in local talent. We're getting behind the South African players. 10 of the 17 will be South African players, at least a minimum of 7 in every 11 will be South African players. So, we want to grow 60 or 70 players every year that we put on the global stage from South Africa. And then we've attracted some exciting international talent, the likes of, Rashid Khan, Liam Livingston, Josh Butler, and many, many more. So, we're excited about the opportunity. The auction is that time where our team owners put their teams and squads together, and that's going to be a big day on the 19th.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that auction and just how much of that money is actually going to filter down to the South African talent?
Well, there's $2 million salary purses for each team, so we expect quite a lot of finance to change hands on the day. It's, for us to have the type of partners that we've brought in, the type of ownership that we've brought in, really brings sustainability to the league, something that we can build with from strength to strength into the future. They're also investing in grassroots. So I think it's a real great platform for us to progress forward with. And as you say, at that auction, hopefully there'll be some magnificent stories of South African players attracting some terrific bids and associating themselves with really strong teams.
So it's happening on the 19th of September. Do we have a venue for that? And what is going to be the format? Exactly like what we've seen in the Indian Premier League?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hopefully, a very similar type auction. It's kind of one of the first of its kind in South Africa. So we're very excited, a 5 or 6 hour live production. We're hoping to make it very interactive. Valen, we're hoping to see you there live at the venue. Everything will come out soon. We want to, have as much South African media there as possible. So, I'm looking forward to having a big day. Hopefully some magnificent stories come out. It will be in Cape Town. We've got the venues sorted, so that'll come out very shortly.
What has been the reaction after the unveiling of the logo today? And it's been quite a whirlwind since you have announced that South Africa will be having their own league and the 6 different franchises and who owns those franchises. Some of them have got names, some of them don't have names. We've seen some of the teams announcing their pre-signed players. What's been the other reaction that you've gotten on all different fronts when it comes to the league?
No, I mean, look, the league is central, yes, but the teams in themselves that have bought the franchises have the right to sort of build their own brands, and a lot of them are associated with the cities that they've bought, actually all of them. I know there's another announcement tomorrow and another one coming later in the week, so we expect to be, have a flurry of news and excitement over the next few weeks as we build to the auction. You're correct. Some of them have, announced some of their pre-signed players. Well, all of them have. Some of them decided to take the maximum amount. Some of them decided to take the minimum amount, which obviously affects their purse in the auction and what they spend on the day. So, yeah, it's a very interesting, sort of game or sort of day that's going to unfold on the auction to see how these squads put their teams together and what type of talent they attract on the 19th.
So that's 34 million rand that each of the 6 franchises have to actually buy players at the auction on the 19th of September, which is going to be taking place in Cape Town. I want to shift focus a little bit to the Proteas. They're currently in England. They're going up against the English. The Test series is drawn at 1-1. An amazing victory at Lord's, and then it all came crashing apart, or it all crashed to the ground in Manchester. What did you make of the team's performance, and also what needs to happen going into this third and deciding test?
Yeah, it's always tough to swallow when you've had a really fantastic game and then you don't follow it up with the same type of level or standard. But I think if you look at the entire England trip so far, I think the South African team has done extremely well. England is a very tough place to tour and to do well in. Through the one-day series, won the T20 series, and is sitting at 1-1 going into the final test. So for them, it's about regrouping now. I think that the same challenges that they started the series with are there, in particular the batting lineup, the batting units, trying to find some consistency there. I think there's a lot of exciting bowling options, but getting that combination right going to the Oval. Going to the Oval for the final game of the series is not going to be easy. I mean, it's a very rowdy, festive crowd in London. They really do get behind the English. So, but I think there's a bit of downtime, a bit of time to refresh now for the guys, and hopefully they can get it together and round off a very successful tour. It'll be a great story if they can get over the line in the upcoming 5 days.
Have you managed to chat to head coach Mark Boucher just about what happened and some of his feedback on how the team are doing? It has been a long tour in the UK.
I haven't. I've been a little bit snowed under with our work at the SA20. Also don't want to cloud too many people's brains. But, I mean, there's been various conversations I had with a couple of the guys at Lord's, Dean, KG, just some of my insights and experiences of playing in England and how we went about it and how we got over the line. I think there's enough. You look at this team, they've found a way, and they've shown a lot of character over the last 2 years. Probably you wouldn't point out the most talented team across the board, all 11 players. There's a few superstars there. But they've always shown character. They've beaten India. They've managed to fight back in New Zealand. And 1-1 in England now. So I think where we sit, it's fine. There's 5 days left and an opportunity to win a series, which is what you want.
The aggressive style of play that the English have under their new coach, some call it Bazball. How much do you think that aggressive approach to Test cricket comes from what we've seen in T20 leagues around the world? Or am I drawing too much into that?
Look, I think you can play any way you want. You just got to have the ability to consistently put it off. And, even now at times they've, the first test that was found wanting, it was a big question mark. I know Brennan very well. He's a good friend, and he's a good, clear thinker about the game. And they're really looking to play cricket on the front foot, and to keep a clear mind, not to get cluttered. I think they have some challenges as well. They have a struggling top order in the last game. Ben Stokes and the middle order saved them, got them to a total. South Africa just short in the first innings. You only get 150. It's very difficult to keep yourself in the game. Especially when you've picked a team to go 5 days and it only lasts 3 and a bit, that's a big challenge. So I expect them to go back to the combinations that they had at Lord's. Jansen to come back in. His all-round ability in the middle there is going to be key. And then, Dean Elgar and his top 6 batting unit, we need them to find some runs, someone to get 100. If someone gets 100, you're in the game. We've got the bowlers that can win a test match. So, lots of pressure on that batting lineup. No one in our top 6 is averaging 40 currently, and we need to change that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, long may KG's confidence remain high up there, because he certainly has been absolutely brilliant for the Proteas in that test series against England. That is Graeme Smith. He is the SA20 Commissioner. Thank you for chatting to us here on Newzroom Afrika. There will be more sport for you at around 7:45. Do stay with us. Your headlines are next.